So I've been told the low light on this camera kind of sucks. What about now? Jesus. Yeah.
Side search G4 Outdoors YouTube online. But as I look up and I ask, can I please just catch a break? I got my rod and my reel and I'm headed to the lake. Yeah.
So I broke my other GoPro, which kind of sucks. I mean, I have a bunch of other cameras I can always use. I got the Canon M50, Sony A7, like I got all that cool stuff. I just like carrying those bigger cameras around. Because this GoPro's dope, man. And it's better than those because this thing shoots in over 5K at 60 frames. Are you kidding me? But this video, we're going to shoot 4K at 60. Completely unnecessary for what I'm doing today, but we're doing it anyways. So yeah, broke my other GoPro. Big old scratch in the lens. You can't replace those lenses on that older model. So I upgraded to the Hero 12 Black. Got the medium mod case on it, a little light, things like that. For low light and all that stuff. But let's get into today. Just wanted to bring that to your attention because I'm excited about the new camera. Okay, so today we're going to be messing with the Triton bass boat. It has been over 3 years since I've started this boat. It had just a little bit of gas in it. I got it out yesterday, pulled it around up front. I did throw stay bale in it, so all that stuff's been in it. And yeah, first key pull, this thing fired right up. So I got it all cleaned up. Me and my wife messed with it, power washed it a little bit, got all the leaves and stuff out of it because it's literally sat for 3 years. It's kind of sad because we always use the tracker. We use the tracker Target for everything. But yeah, what else did I do? I put brand new tires on it because all my tires were really badly weather rotted because or sun rotted, whatever you want to call it. This trailer sat down at Lake of the Ozarks since 2008 pretty much. It's always been in a boat slip, but now it's up here. I have to trailer it everywhere. So no tires. But when I did start this up, I wasn't getting any water coming out of the engine, letting me know my impeller's bad. So we're going to replace the impeller water pump system on this Merc 50 two-stroke. But let's get this cover and stuff off, throw it in the back of the truck and get ready to roll. Something else I forgot to mention, since I got this boat hooked up to my truck, you know, like I said, it's been sitting for 3 years. Seatbelt thing's going off because I'm not wearing my seatbelt. I couldn't get these damn trailer lights to pop on for nothing, man. I was chasing it, looking at fuses on my truck, buying connectors for, you know, the actual connector at my truck, like where the boat trailer plugs into, testing all that stuff. Everything lights up, it works fine. So it's like maybe a bad ground, maybe the ground from the hitch to the tongue or something. Nothing. I couldn't get anything figured out, man. So I just drove it around for a little bit around my block. It started working a little bit. So I brought it back home. Next day I had an appointment to get new tires on the trailer, turn it on. Can't get the trailer lights to come on again. But I've been driving it around quite a bit and it seems to be working fine. Now I can like check and turn the lights on and they come on, and so it seems like everything's working. I don't know what the problem was. I'm guessing a bad ground. From what me and Randy were talking about, most likely at the hitch itself, hitch and ball action. So hopefully it was just wearing down the rust and grime and all that stuff, but it seems to be working fine now. So this dude just went flying around me. I'm going 40 in a 35. We got wild people out there. All right, just leaving Academy Sports. I was looking for the 12-inch rubber rod tie downs, which are what I have on my boat because I don't want to drill new holes. Everything I can find is 18-inch, but mine are 12-inch. But I found them on Amazon, so I'm gonna get them on Amazon. But what I did find there is the kill switch for my engine because I need a new one of those. It's all stretched out and broken. And we got some marine grade sea foam. I'm gonna throw that in the gas. Maybe it'll help, you know, do something to the engine. Who knows? It's more of a let's see if this works type of thing. Who knows? But it does stabilize fuel as well. So I have a little bit of old fuel in there, a lot of new fuel, running 91. But let's head to Randy's and start working on this engine. All right, so I made it out to Randy's house. It's time to get to work on this engine. If you guys want to know what the G4 Outdoors boat's doing, it's still in storage and it shouldn't be. We need to get it out and put where it needs to go. Look at all this stuff. That's what happens when we run a lawn care business. We've got lawn care stuff everywhere. But yeah, let's get to work on this. I think Randy's doing what Randy does. And he's looking for a mole right now, I have a feeling.
It's a real, live, how to catch a mole, and that's how I do it. And this guy wants to say, see you later.
Did you find it?
Gee, many Christmas.
Did you find it, dude?
You're a better hunter than I. You're like Sneaky Pete, like...
Sneaky Pete? Isn't that like a hot sauce?
That's television shows last I've known.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to drown a mole.
You know what I found works the best? Anytime I've ever done it in my house? I mean, you're a mole whisperer.
Looking up a G4 Outdoors video on
Looking
how
up
to
a
catch a mole.
G4 Outdoors video. All right, anyways, so we're back from playing with moles. Back at the boat. Yeah, I'm gonna show you what I was talking about on my kill switch for this. Another reason I ran it to Academy.
Yeah.
So this thing is from 2008. I could probably pull it and just snap it in half if I wanted to. But yeah, the plastic's all withered and this is all withered. So I got a new one. And it's nice having a Academy, you know, literally in walking distance from my house.
You know, real quick, these things deteriorate in the sun quicker than snot.
Oh yeah.
Just elastic, like your underwear.
I'm
That's
surprised
why
this
people
thing's
have-
made it through
that's why
since
people
2008.
have droopy drawers. But in the state of Missouri, I believe these are law to be attached now. to
Oh,
your
probably.
person.
Yeah, probably. The majority of people that I know that do that attach to their life jacket when the boat stops. They throw their life jacket off and has all that shit on there. But yeah, I got one that is multi. You want to throw that? Multi-key. So like your Evinrude, your Johnson, your Mercury. It's multi-keyed for all those engine priorities.
Hey, I bought a multi-key for
Whatever we need.
the TRACKER,
The Tracker.
and
That's the one I need right there.
none of them fit.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Was it just like this?
I believe so.
Mercury should be that guy right there, isn't it?
Universal. I think I bought the same one because they don't have the just Mercury ones.
Yep. Throw that in there. Turn it on. We're locked up. Boom. I might snap all these other ones off because I don't know if I want them dangling around. But yeah, and I like the fact that this one is like rubber coated compared to the regular nylon stuff, because that stuff gets beat up in the water, gets wet, dry, over and over again. But the sun is what I can see damaging this the most. But hey, 10 bucks, problem solved on that. Let's get to the motor. Okay, so when I first fired this up at my house, when we were messing with it, when I fired the engine up, and I was surprised that son of a gun fired up first crank over. But for like the first 30 seconds, no water was coming out of this, and I had it hooked up to the thing. So I think it was stuck. It's just seized and hasn't moved in a long time.
There could easily have been a bug in there.
Something blocking it. So I turned it off. I fed what I could find through the little pee hole to see if I could unblock anything. I turned the engine back on. Nothing came out for a little while. Then eventually it started dribbling a little bit, and then a little bit of a stream came out. But now a decent stream comes out. But I mean, I don't know if this has ever been changed, and it's time to do it.
I can see you are ready for. You should have had a cover. Yeah,
I had a cover on it.
this is why you need a cover. You had a cover?
I had a cover, but I'm the only person that's ever had a cover on this thing, if you know what I'm saying.
So to keep the tracker from doing this, I will put a cover on it.
Yep. And I bought a new one off of Amazon. I showed them earlier. It's in the back of my truck. It's a really nice cover.
These
Showed you.
decals are stupid expensive.
Yeah, they are, dude. Unless you know a guy that makes decals.
Got that. I used to know a guy.
Got this guy. Way better than the cheapos you buy like in-store like an Academy has. This one's a way better material. It's kind of furry coated, anti-scratch on the inside by some brand I never heard of, Barisco. But I like how it has a way to tighten it in the front, and it's got a little cutout for your outboard wires. Tighten it in the front, tighten it in the back, and tighten it in the middle. So yeah, it's a cool little cover. If you guys want to check it out, that's the brand name. Got it off Amazon. So, went up to Smithville Marine the other day, and I could have probably got away with just replacing the impeller, but since it's been so long since anything's probably been done, I got the entire kit with all the gaskets, new plates, all that stuff. So we're gonna do the whole repair kit on the water pump. And to do this job, you have to undo all of these nuts and bolts that are in here. No, I'm just kidding. The linkage for going forward, neutral, and reverse for your gearing, this linkage has to be backed out. That's something I would mark to make sure you get it exactly back to where it's supposed to go, because you're talking about your linkage for, you know, neutral, forward, and reverse. You're gonna want that exactly where it was from the factory. And then I believe we're gonna have a few bolts down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I believe there's one hidden one under your planer too. So yeah, this is, and when you take this off, that's something else I would make sure you mark and get back exactly where it was before, because you don't want to be having your steering wheel going straight and your boat going left. So make sure you get this exactly where it's supposed to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark this. Little silver on silver action. I'm gonna go ahead and mark it on both sides. A little silver there, a little silver there. So just marking that, lining those two lines up. I might have should have used black, but it'll still show up. And as far as marking the linkage for the shifting, it looks like the lock nut is bottomed out on the threads. So there's no more threads that can go down. So I think having that at the very bottom is where it's gonna be. So I don't think I have a reason to necessarily mark that. So typical fashion, nobody can ever find a 10mm wrench. I couldn't find any at my house because everything takes 10mm, so you lose them all the time. We can't find any here, so I'm gonna go to the store and buy like 13 of them. That way I just have them on stock, I guess. So we're gonna run to the store and grab that real quick. Usually we're all about the trucks, but we're gonna take this fancy little Toyota Camry, which is Randy's wife's car. I think I've been in this car 2 times in my entire life. Not the same for you? This your second time ever being in this vehicle?
Yeah.
Let's see what she's got, dude. So we're leaving the hardware store, and I'm guessing everyone else is as irresponsible as us because they only had 2 10mm in the whole store. So I had to get one fancy one that was kind of expensive and one just generic normal one. We even called O'Reilly's. They literally had one in stock and that was it. So yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only person that can't keep track of my 10mm. All right, we're back. So I had to do a little bit of running around. A couple people called and wanted some quotes for the stuff that we do for our business, and we had to run and do that. But we're back. So we're gonna start off by disconnecting the linkage for, you know, your neutral, reverse, your drive, your gearing. So back that nut off. Like I said, the lock nut's pretty much bottomed out, so I don't need to mark this. I just know it needs to be pretty much bottomed out again. And that top, the bigger nut is what you're going to be unscrewing all the way up to disconnect the linkage. Okay, so it is disconnected. So now we're gonna go and start on these 5 bolts. Like I said, there's 2 on this side, 2 on this side, and 1, I believe, under this plate. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you got the idea, but I don't know if I directly explained it. But the reason for the 10mm that I couldn't find is you need 10mm, you need 2 of them. 1 for the lock, 1 for the screw itself. So if you are finding this video and you're gonna do this at home, you need 2 10mm wrenches to get rid of this linkage. And what size are these bolts? What'd you say?
5/8.
So you got 5/8 on 2 of the bolts that are tying the loader unit down. So we gotta get those cracked off right now. So yeah, like I was saying, 5/8 on the 4 bolts around the motor itself, and a 13 to get this plate off. And there should be a bolt up underneath here, and I believe 2 parts come off. This comes off, and that little grate filter thing comes off as well. See, like I was saying earlier, make sure you mark these so you can get this put back on exactly where it goes. This is the other piece, that little grate thing that you got to remember how it goes in there. It goes that way, actually. Goes that way. Oh yeah, 2 pieces. This piece, and a nut. And if you can see up in there, I don't know if you can see up in there, there's another little bolt we got to get out that's in there.
And if this is messed up at all, discolored, corroded or anything like that, be sure and replace this, because this is like a diode or a electrode, a diode to not collect rust. This is a rust preventer.
Yeah.
As well as a steering state.
Yeah, if you don't have this where it needs to be, if you're wanting to go straight, you're going to be going left or right. So make sure you get that put back on there where it needs to go. And it looks like the bolt that's up in there is a 15 millimeter.
That's right.
That's right.
I'm gonna look in my toolbox, but yeah, we're gonna have some sort of anti-seize before it.
Okay. Anti-seize, remember that. So this should be everything. Linkage done, 4 bolts on the side, 5 bolts on the inside.
So that you know
Oh,
it's got a very solid fit.
there's a bug. A bug came out. So, literally went up to Smithville Marine with my model number and serial number from my engine, okay? And I said, hey, I need a kit. They go, yo, we got them. So these are the parts. Looks like 2 gaskets, a couple of other replaceable parts, some plastic rings, okay? A metal plate, which I'm sure we'll find in there somewhere. The impeller itself, which I thought was stiffer. That's pretty rubbery and malleable. I don't even know if malleable is a word. It makes you sound like you know what you're talking about, even if you don't. These are malleable as well. 2 little plastic washers, which I believe go on the inside and outside of that, if I'm not mistaken. And there's a little keeper, little tiny guy. You don't want to lose that little guy. Little tiny keeper that's going to be in there somewhere. So we'll just lay everything out. Okay, and the impeller and all the stuff's going to be right here on the lower unit. These bolts right here are 10 millimeters, so thankfully we got some 10 millimeters.
Oh.
All right, we got 2 of the bolts out. We're gonna go ahead and flop it over here. Get to these other 2 bolts a little easier. Okay, so that's all the bolts. So we're just gonna shimmy this guy up the rod. Oh, I love the way that grinding sounds.
So don't let that impeller fall out.
Yeah, don't let it fall out, because you got to remember your orientation of this. This, to be dead honest with you, is in a lot better shape than I thought it would be. 100%. It's a little off. It's a little off though, huh? Isn't it? Like longer and shorter. That's kind of weird.
That's all right.
That's weird. Yeah, better shape than I thought it was going to be. Remember the orientation of the way this is on there.
Let's go ahead and replace that while we have it there.
While we have it there, okay. We can
Just
do
in case that falls out.
Right here, I don't know if you can see it. There's your little keeper thing that comes in the kit. So if that falls out, you know where that goes as well. I don't think there's a right and wrong way. Just that rounded part goes on the outside. But yeah, as you can see, the stars are bent around this way. So
It's going counterclockwise.
We're gonna go ahead and put it in there that way.
And you can put assembly grease on here or something if you want to, but I think
It's still here.
yeah, that's off of here.
Okay, so what we're gonna have to do is our gasket.
And here's okay, so you were due for a gasket, so we might have been leaking a little bit of water out the side.
Mm-hmm.
But here is why you
How
need
many of these is there?
just that one.
I thought we took it off already. Okay.
So we got sand. We got sand up in there. And the sand is what's going to deteriorate this. Not only that, but the heat and sun. No, I guess the sun won't. The heat will deteriorate that.
Okay, so now we're gonna take this plate off, which I believe is gonna be on there pretty gosh darn good. Gonna need some sort of tool. And your other gasket should be underneath this little plate here. I can't tell if it's getting all torn up and damaged and stuck on there because I can't see it underneath this plate.
I bet they feel the same way with your arm right there.
But it looks like I'm gonna have to get this off of here, and there's little chunks on here, so I'm gonna try to get these off because I want this gasket to set. I want this gasket to set as good as I can. Look at that bug in there, dude.
A stink bug. 2 stink bugs.
I don't want to get this all scratched up and stuff, but definitely try to work some of this old nasty gasket material off here.
Yeah.
Go ahead and put the new on here. The bolts go in last. So what I need to do next is take one of my new little nylon plastic washers. That's gonna go on. Got a little grease for it to stick.
A little dab of grease.
A little dab will do ya. Got a little keeper set right there. This is our new one, and these were bent in this way.
Yeah, so when this goes in here, it goes in counterclockwise.
Get that nylon plastic washer where it needs to be. So now when I put all this on here, make sure I get that threaded through that. All right, we already started installing these bolts on the top housing, and then I just threw up a reminder about anti-seize. So we're gonna put anti-seize on all these bolts as well, because I mean, it's good to go ahead and do it. You know, it's better to do it than not to do it. So they're just finger tight, so we can just take them out and put them back in. No big deal. And the kit also came with this little like gap spacing collar thing. I don't know what you want to call it exactly, right? But it's right up in here in the engine. So I took the old one out, threw the new one in. It just slides right on that pipe. So there's really nothing to that. So we're gonna go ahead and crack all these bolts back down. We put a little bit of dab on each one. So that's good to go. And we'll get this all tightened up. And it looks like it's about time for me to replace a GoPro battery. All right, we're back with a dog on my boat. It's a dog on my boat. It's a baby dog on my boat. Okay, new battery in. I went ahead and turned the brightness down on this and got rid of the front screen display. Hopefully it'll save the battery life. I'm going to have to look at that whenever I get home to see what I can find the best settings for battery life. But yeah, bolts all in, bolts all tightened up. Now we're in the reversal process of just putting this all back together.
Okay, so this shaft right here, this goes up into the lower unit, and this indexes off of these grooves right here. We will put a little bit of grease on there before we get started on that. Yep, let's line these up and get them all in.
Here we go. Okay, that's what the inside of the engine kind of looks like right here. So we're gonna go ahead and try to get this slid in here with my little mechanism that's holding up my camera. Throw a little grease on those splines, which is what he's doing right now. Getting that greased up. Hopefully this isn't in the way, but it might be. Oh God, this thing weighs 345 pounds by itself, and I just picked it up all by myself. I just maneuvered it one-handed for a second. You guys can't see any of it, but I'm really doing that. Okay. You want to get down there and guide this? Because I can't really bend down there and hold all this.
Come on.
We're sliding up. Okay, watch your little gear thing there.
You know what, I do want to.
Okay.
So the
I can hold it for a little bit.
the shaft goes up in that hole. Here's the new water port, which is going to go right on here. So
Watch out for that shift linkage. Make sure that's going where it needs to go.
got to make sure that shift linkage is going up in there. And I think that, there we go. Okay, now the visuals for you guys are going to start going away. We're good. Hold that.
Yeah, it's not going nowhere.
I'm gonna lightly put in 2 screws just so we don't drop a lower unit.
And this process right here, definitely going to be easier with 2 people. You can do it yourself. This is something I probably could have done myself. It just would have been a little more of a nightmare. So if you got a buddy, if you are lucky enough to have friends, let's go ahead and throw a little bit of anti-seize on these bolts before we forget.
All right.
Okay, so we got a little dab of anti-seize on all 4 of these bolts. So we're going to go ahead and get this seated in there a little better. Bolts.
Yeah, there we go.
By hand. Get it a little more snug. Okay, that one's pretty snug. Okay, back to wherever we were. We got the 4 bolts done lower unit to the top unit. We have not done the one back here and set all this up. And we went ahead and got the bolt for the shift linkage adapter and the lock nut down there all tightened up and ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and start working on this little back plate area now. And do remember, when you take this bolt out here, there is a washer and everything that goes on there as well. So don't forget to do that. I said bolt, it's a nut and a washer. Don't forget that.
Yeah, this is a hidden little...
It's a little gem,
nook.
isn't it? That's a nice little gem hidden in there. Okay, now we got this little doodad and the grate for it. So we're gonna go ahead and put this grate back in here where it goes, and it's gonna wanna fall out. So if you don't have 10 hands like most human beings do. And this piece will hold that in. So we're just gonna go ahead and remember where you marked these things.
Handy reference marks.
Yep, so pretty much right there. I'll go ahead and hold that for you. Get that bolt in there. My finger's kind of in the way. Definitely one of those things where having an extra set of hands will help you on a couple of little parts on this. Yes, you can do it yourself, but it just helps. It's a little help. And go ahead and tighten that sucker back up. Make sure all your stuff is lined up. Like I said, if you marked it, you're gonna get it all lined up just fine, exactly where it was, you know, from the factory.
Yeah, let me say something about this real quick.
Say something about it.
This is kind of like the steering wheel on your car. If you're driving sideways all the time because your car is wanting to rear off to the side, that's what you can do here. Like, this is pretty extreme, but
yeah, it's pretty extreme.
It can turn you off course.
Yeah. Even if that gets loose and you're wondering what's going on, it could be something like this.
Even if this is center, sometimes your boat, like if you constantly have a lot of tools on one side of the boat, it's going to want to turn to one direction. So this is your
little guide.
Alignment.
Yep, your little alignment. I mean, I'm sure it has like an actual name, but we're just gonna bullshit our way through.
Skag.
This is your...
No, that's your skag.
Camber kit. Your hydraulic fluid press.
It's definitely hydraulic.
Yeah. That could be, that's the flux fucking capacitor.
Oh, we've been looking at that for the years.
All right, and that's pretty much it for the install of the water pump. Don't take everything we did as the gospel. We're just doing it our way, so if it's all jacked up, we did this. We don't want you to jack it up as well. But we're gonna...
We'll bring you back on the lake if it's messed up.
Yeah. We'll tell you what happened, what we did wrong. So if you're watching the video and we messed a bunch of stuff up and you already know, dude, have fun laughing at us. I'm gonna put the water muffs on here and we're gonna fire this sucker up. All right, I got the water muffs on. If you own a boat and you don't have these, you are, you know, lacking at what you need to be figuring out, because if you're always having, if you have a boat, you're gonna have problems and you wanna be able to work on this stuff, you know, yourself. It's a must-have. But we got water running through the system. I'm gonna go ahead and try to fire this thing up. Classic two-stroke issue, you know. I'm not fuel injected over here. Pump the old primer ball up. And this is how you annoy your neighbors. Well, I guess I gotta get my keys out of my truck, huh? But yeah, playing with your boat out of the water, the exhaust that comes out of the propeller, it's crazy loud. It's way louder than the annoying doom buggy person. It's way louder than the kids riding around on four-wheelers. And I got 1,000 keys, so I'm just gonna wing it, I'm guessing this one. Okay, we got power. Neutral, okay. Got a little button, I press this button in, I move it forward, right? Choke, turn it on. Nice little pressure. Got a nice little pressure on it. And if you can hear me over the motor, that's a way better stream than what was coming out of it before, for sure. Engine died. It's not warmed up. I'm about to give her some actual fuel here.
Choke it.
All right, so we're working. She's peeing. Everything's functional. Yeah. Maybe that stream will get a little stronger, but it's definitely stronger than it was. But I feel like this thing should be just jetting out of there. But I don't know, it may not.
Still a lot of water.
It's a lot of water coming out, and it's only a 50 horse, you know, it's nothing insane. But yeah, dude, thanks for the help today. Classic G4 styles, you know. More videos coming, like always. We're a little dead on this channel in the winter, you know.
Yeah.
Not a lot going on, you know. But yeah, gun related content. Fishing is coming, you know, little tinkering around and stuff. So if you got the Merc 50 horse 2-stroke, here's a little how-to-ish kind of video. I wouldn't really call it a guide, but it's something you may see and go, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Or now I know not to do that. You'll get a lot of that out of this video. But yeah, new water pump, impeller install, Mercury, 50 horse, 2-stroke. Okay, that's it. We'll see you guys next time. We're going, by fishing he means probably I'm gonna go back to my house or something. We'll see you guys later. I got nothing lined up over here on the bottom.
Well, hold on, because I got 4 lined up here. Or 3, 4, yeah, 4. Hey there.
Nowhere today.
No.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I just dream of fishing while I'm going through my workday. I listen to my boss, though he's driving me berserk. Damn it, I can't take much more because my brain is really hurting. And now the bank is always calling and I don't know what to do. And I haven't bought a crankbait since like 1992. But the bass are out.